reaction here on the steps of the Supreme Court, actually, from the UKIP leader Paul Nuttall, who joins me.
Morning.
What's your reaction to the judgment that we heard here at the Supreme Court, 8-3, in favour of Parliament triggering Article 50?
Well, I'm disappointed because I never believed it should have come to the Supreme Court in the first place. I thought the High Court got this wrong. However, I'm not surprised. We all thought the government were going to lose this case. It's now over to that lot over there, over in Parliament, to ensure that the will of the people is enacted. And I say to them, no, let's get on with this, let's do it quickly, and woe betide any MP or indeed the House of Lords if they try to mess around with the will of the people.
But there will quite likely be amendments, won't there, to whatever bill the government does introduce?
Well, of course, the SNP are saying that they're going to put down 50 amendments in an attempt to sort of amend this bill out of sight, which I think is an attempt to subvert the will of the British people. The Labour Party is saying that they would like a vote at the end of the Article 50 process, which again, I don't think is the right route to take. And the Liberal Democrats, they just want another referendum. So they will try to play around with it, but I'm confident that the government have enough numbers to ensure that this goes through.
So you think that the Prime Minister's timetable of triggering Brexit by the end of March, that's still on course, still achievable?
Well, I would certainly hope so. You know, what we want to see is a swift Brexit, a clean Brexit, which means out of the single market, controlling our own borders, not paying a membership fee, and able to sign our own trade deals around the globe. That's what the British people voted for on June the 23rd, and that's what I believe we'll get.
And in terms of the decision here, I mean, at the High Court, the judges were vilified by some of the press, for example, as enemies of the people. But do you accept that it is fair and right for an independent judiciary to have heard this case and to have reached whatever judgment they wanted to?
I accept the result. In the future, I would probably like to see some sort of change in the law, which means that referendums are binding and we don't have to go through this farce. But in the end, we accept the result. It's now over to the MPs and the House of Lords to ensure that the will of the people is enacted.
I mean, the referendum could have been binding if the legislation enabling that referendum actually had spelt out that the result then would empower ministers to trigger Article 50. It could have been done.
Well, then you ask this question, don't you? Was this done by accident or by design? Did they want to ensure that it wasn't binding in case they got the result that they didn't foresee or didn't want? I don't know. All I do know is that the British people voted to leave the European Union on June the 23rd. Now, the MPs and the House of Lords have a duty to ensure that the will of the people is enacted.
But you don't criticise the judges for the ruling that they've come to here?
No, I accept the result. I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. But what I will say is in future, let's ensure that legislation is in place so we don't have to go through this.
OK, Paul Nuttall, thank you very much indeed. That's Paul Nuttall, the leader.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.